Rant summer is here. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com. We got all of your summer needs covered. From bathing suits to swim trunks, flip-flops and tote bags, towels, tanks, and muscle shirts. Oh, and you can't forget about the visors and the hats. It's lit. So head on over to ajsrantroom.com and get your summer poppin'. You won't be disappointed. It's always lit over at ajsrantroom.com. We got the best bags and accessories, our beloved Black Series. We got fresh lids for you hat lovers, fire jackets and hoodies, and of course we got you covered on the t-shirts. And introducing our first shoe line, Aloysius Germain. So get on over to ajsrantroom.com today and get to shopping. You won't be disappointed.
Hey, yo, what's good? Happy Friday, everybody. Hope all is well in the world. TGIF to those who this is your real Friday. I don't have a Friday, unfortunately. But maybe one day. All right, so let's just make sure we can hear me and see me and life is good. So if we could just confirm that I'm communicating effectively to the people and things of that nature, and then we will proceed on with the situation. All right. Cool, Let's filibuster while we wait for the first yay or nay. All right, cool. Everybody bringing it on, let you know how do. Okay, have is it. And we are good to go. All right, let's go. All right. Dun, 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 dun. One day we'll have music for this. Dun, 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 dun. Breaking news. FBI agents on Thursday morning raided the Maryland home of John Bolton, the former national security advisor to President Donald Trump and a staunch critic of the president. The raid is part of a, quote, national security investigation in search of classified records, a person familiar with the matter told NBC News. The probe is eyeing multiple instances of the use of classified documents and leaks to news media. Somebody's in trouble. NBC reported that the investigation into Bolton began during the Biden administration, but did not go further because President Joe Biden left office in January. I need to read that again because I read that like I'm hooked on phonics or something. NBC reported that the investigation into Bolton began during the Biden administration, but did not go further before President Joe Biden left office in January. An FBI official said, quote, the FBI is conducting court-authorized activity in the area. There is no threat to public safety, end quote, but declined to comment on Bolton, according to NBC. The statement indicates a judge signed a search warrant for Bolton's residence. The doors are closing on the swamp. The doors, the walls are closing on the swamp. Bop, 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 bop. This is what Drain the Swamp looks like, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what it looks like when you start going after the people who laid around Washington passively and getting secret information that they should have never gotten, and then started handing it out to media sources. This is how you get these leaks, when they say someone in the camp confirmed, an anonymous source in the entourage, or yeah, that's usually those people. So yeah, I'm glad this went down, and I'm glad I look forward to it. But what was so funny? Roger Stone. I don't know if you remember Roger Stone when he got caught up in that whole. Remember he got arrested in 2019. Um, an investigation in witness tampering and obstructing official proceedings and making false statements. Allegedly, all of this stuff. Allegedly. Anyway, and then he got pardoned by Trump and all of that other stuff. But anyway, so he took a moment to troll because he's earned it. And he said, "Good morning, John Bolton. How does it feel to have your home raided at 6 o'clock in the morning?" Yeah, you sitting there in your drawers naked. Maybe you doing something nefarious. Maybe you get in the morning rub out on. I don't know. Whatever. Live your life. Do what you want. But and then boom, 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 boom. I just know it's not like they knock like the Amazon delivery driver. I don't ever want to know what this feels like, but I'm assuming this, and you're like, what happened? And then they pop you. And then all of this was political. We knew all of this was political from the time Trump lost in 2020, and every subsequent investigation, and every person that got arrested, and every person that got hemmed up or sued for something or lost their careers. We all knew that it was politically motivated. We all knew this. Also, sidebar, what's so funny is how you had these liberals and Democrats mocking conservatives for breaching the Capitol on January 6th and being pissed off with the results of the 2020 election. And now they're spreading this wild conspiracy on X that Kamala actually won. And the community notes keep updating, saying this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie. They are hell bent that this is the truth. That Kamala Harris, there was an independent a whistleblower said Kamala Harris won the election. Kamala Harris could have, even if Kamala Harris won the popular vote by one vote, she still lost the election. The popular vote is a formality. Doesn't really need to happen. It's just, makes us feel like we're really involved in the process when we're really not. But get over it. That's what y'all was saying to us, right? Get over it, right? She lost. She lost handily. It wasn't like, it was like held up for days like y'all did with Joe Biden. It wasn't like they lied about a pipe bursting in Fulton County in Georgia only to find out there was no pipe that burst. It wasn't like none of that stuff happened. It was a clean, clear election. And y'all are still mad, and y'all are going to be mad for the next 3.5 years. So enjoy the ride, people. This is what it looks like when you have a real boss in charge and not a political pawn, because that's all Joe Biden was. He was a puppet. He was the name on the package, but he had no real power. He had no real influence. He wanted to die a president, and I'm that's my theory. That's my personal theory. He wanted to die a president, and he was willing to do anything to become president, even go against his own philosophy. And speaking of philosophies, we'll talk about that in our main story with Lil Nas X later. Anyway, so oh no. Oh no. We skip it. We flip the stories. Hold on. All right, so we have an update on Cracker Barrel and some response, and a nice story with Congressman Byron Donalds and how he met Christ. So we've added Paw to Uncle Ben, the Land O'Lakes lady, and Aunt Jemima. Since apparently, this is just the worst representation of America, is to acknowledge where we came from, and that it's okay to start off rocky, but to end up in a good place, because of course your whole life you have to spend being reminded that it started off bad. You got to be reminded that your whole life, and anything that represents goodness or positivity or unity or bringing us together, we can't have that. We can't have that. Let's just continue to be divisive. So, I don't know. Obviously, this whole thing with Cracker Barrel was in the making for years, and I think once they saw the country shift, they should have reneged and fired this woke lady and got her out of there. But no, this is what happens when you FAFO, and then your stock drops dramatically, not dramatically, traumatically, because people were pissed. And it wasn't good change. There's good change, and then there's like, what the hell is this? Right? What the hell is this? And so and I saw this morning the stock went up about 94 cents. So they're on the mend, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, go woke, go broke. Deciding to decolonize, which whatever that means, because what needed to be decolonized about Cracker Barrel? It's an American brand. Everybody of every race went there. Nobody really cared. It was just a representation of a segment of the country. So y'all are the ones talking about everybody deserves a seat at the table. Everyone should have a voice. And then as soon as you don't like something, you want to silence it, banish it, and act like it never existed. It's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. And hopefully they get the memo, but nobody wants these. I forgot to put up a picture of the outside, the exterior of the sanitized Cracker Barrel. It looks like any old generic diner restaurant place. That's not where we go to Cracker. That's like going to Buc-ee's and sanitizing Buc-ee's to make it look like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. Or a real gas station, like saying, these look more gas station like. So you start putting stuff behind glass and stuff, like, no. Nobody wants that. Buc-ee's has a personality, just like Cracker Barrel has a personality, right? Like Roscoe Chicken and Waffles has a personality, right? You don't go into Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and try to make them KFC. It won't work. But no, nobody want to have that conversation. I mean, like, it's just old-fashioned country people being old-fashioned country people. And being old-fashioned country people doesn't always mean racist. Doesn't always mean an injustice. Doesn't mean blacks aren't included. Get over yourselves. You're not the center of the world. Anyway, so yes. Have y'all heard the news? Oh, wait. Oh, no. Hold on. Wait. Almost skipped it. Hold on. Wait. Go back. Okay. So here's Paw with his take on what's going on here.
Hello, I'm the Cracker from Cracker Barrel, and y'all know I sat on that damn logo for 48 damn years, longer than a snake deep throating a giraffe neck. Then overnight, you got this diverse, evil, ignorant, or DEI group of people taking over our marketing, talking about we need a rebrand. Then poof, I'm going faster than a black man driving through Alabama. How you gonna rebrand without debrand? I'm the goddamn reason people come to Cracker Barrel. How you gonna have a place called Cracker Barrel without a cracker leaning on a barrel? I mean, what's next, America? A black female Popeyes manager that doesn't fight her customers. Cracker Barrel needs a cracker and a barrel. And I'm the coldest cracker son of a bitch to ever lean on a barrel this side of a Mississippi. Hell, maybe both sides. But don't you go worry about your old boy Cracker. I got a little nest egg and I'll find something to lean on, I always have. But it's a damn shame what y'all done let happen to old Barrel.
Who the hell out here finna hire me, bro? Nobody hiring barrels. I might as well just jump in the fucking fireplace, bro.
Rest in peace, Cracker Barrel, as we knew it. I would love to know who the CEO spoke to. Like, who did this CEO speak to? like in the world that said, yeah, this is a great idea to gentrify Cracker Barrel. Why the hell would you even think, like, even the thought of it should have been like a hard no. Once you saw what Jaguar did, yeah, we should have been like, no. Once you saw what Bud Light did, you should have said no. And black people, please don't start tooting your horn about Target sales being down, because it's really not y'all. Target sales have been on the decline for years. So it's not really y'all dumbasses. So I just wanted to make that clear. But his Byron Donalds and you know, in his little, this is before all of the gentrification, but I just thought this was a really awesome story.
You've got this great faith story. What is it? This Cracker Barrel in Tennessee, Tallahassee. Yeah. What in the world? Yeah. You got to tell this story.
So, you know, after I got arrested the second time, you know, I started going to church. My girlfriend at the time, who ended up becoming my girlfriend again, who I ended up marrying, she was starting to go to church. And, you know, I would talk to her and she said, you should just come with me. So I would. And it's crazy, especially the first time you start going into church, you feel like the pastor knows your story. Yes. Like he's talking directly to you. Yes, and I'm thinking like, who called the pastor? Who called my mom? You know, like who called my mom? Who called my friends? And started relaying the story. And I think that's really where I started meeting the Holy Spirit, really seeing God and who he is, and really not just the blessings he has for you, but really the guidance he has for you. And so I was working at Cracker Barrel at the time, and it was the summer of 2001. And there was a couple of, seemed like once a month, there was a lady who would come in. One lady had written a story on the road, and she looks up at me wearing the big brown apron with, with my name on it. And she goes, "Oh, you're Byron. I just was praying in the car and wrote a story about you."
Wow.
So I'm totally honest. I don't even tell this part of it because it's so long. I remember, you know, she just said, you know, God's just saying he's praying for you. God's saying, you know, he's with you. Don't leave him. Keep praying. Stay in it. When I gave my life to Christ, it was September 2nd, 2001. I was waiting on this table. It was like a revival. These whole tables, like 13 of them. And, you know, when you're in Cracker Barrel, the last thing you want is a big table. Like you want like 4 or 5. You don't want 13 because it takes up your whole section. But I'm there and I'm waiting on this whole table. And you know, the Lord was really dealing with me at that time. And I waited on them and did all the stuff. And you know, I go back, I cash them out, I go back to the server line, I'm rolling silverware, and I'm gone. Like, I'm on the server line, I'm rolling silverware, but I'm not there. And, you know, people kept coming up to me, they're like, "Byron, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm just thinking." And so, you know, the Lord spoke to me. It was like, "Stop running from me." And so, like, it knocked me back. So I went out to find the table, and they were all gone. And I could see through the windows that they were getting on their bus. So I walked out, my manager's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I need a second." I walk out there, the last lady's getting on the bus and she goes, "Young man, you okay?" And I go, "No, ma'am, I'm not okay." And she goes, "What?" And I go, "The Lord's telling me to stop running." Yeah. I still get emotional about it. And so there was a little tree that was right there next to where their van was pulled up, and they all came pouring out the bus. I mean, they just came from a revival. So they're like, "Oh, praise the Lord. We know we got another one." And so they pour out the bus and they all pray over me. And I gave my life to Christ in the parking lot at Cracker Barrel.
You got saved at Cracker Barrel.
Sure did.
Wow.
That's not a promotional for the company, but yeah.
Yeah, you have to do the disclaimer. That's just a wild story. And look at what God has done since the Cracker Barrel incident.
Yes. So the testimony of Byron Donalds, which I just learned yesterday when this video popped up on X, because you know the whole everyone's talking about Cracker Barrel, and then they were like, "Oh, Byron Donalds got saved at Cracker Barrel," and I was like, "What?" Click. I was like, "This would be interesting." So yeah, you know, you never know if we can get out of our racial idolatry, our sexuality idolatry, our abortion idolatry, this, that, the third, the stupid, frivolous things that we make the center of our worlds, and really truly see how something can bless somebody unknowingly, you know, because you never know who you're talking to. You never, and I'll tell a really quick story about, it wasn't a Cracker Barrel, but it was a famous R&B singer. And she was in this restaurant and nobody recognized her really. But nobody wanted to wait on her. And so she was like, okay. And so this one woman came up to her, really nice server, really nice, set her down, gave her the specials, all that stuff. And she was like, I saw her coworkers, like, not happy that she took the customer and not happy that she was serving her, right? And so she ended up tipping the girl like $700 and probably ate like $30 worth of food. So again, you never know what your presence is doing for somebody. So be aware. I mean, don't idolatrize yourself and think you're bigger than life, but you just never know how something, small things and small gestures, and them coming from a revival going to Cracker Barrel, literally, we probably, who knows what he would have made of his life. He had been arrested twice already. That's crazy. I didn't even know he was arrested twice. I thought he was arrested once. So Byron Donalds has a story to tell. So Cracker Barrel, get your life together, because all of this gentrification is not necessary, and there's no upgrade that's needed to the brand. If you don't want to go eat at Cracker Barrel, guess what? You have Denny's, you have IHOP, you have a whole plethora of options. You don't have to eat there. That's the moral of the story. Anyway, we have a Dr. Umar update. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Did you know that Dr. Umar Johnson is a thespian?
What you make? Malik. What up, Malik? What? He got shot? Are you sure it was Ron? What happened? Police. Hold tight. I'm on my way, bro. Hold on. I'm out. I'm on my way. Babe, I gotta go.
No.
Ron got shot. The 14-year-old
Okay,
boy.
leave that to the Black Panthers.
No.
Your fight is towards systematic racism in education.
My fight is against racism no matter where it happens.
I said no!
And I'm telling you that my life is saving our people. We've been through this. I got to go. A young man is dead.
If you leave, Jermaine.
If I leave what? If I leave what? I'm leaving. Bye.
No!
If I leave what? You know what killed me? You know what killed me? It was when the African drums came in the background. Boop, 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 boop. What the fuck was that? Boop, 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 boop. What the fuck is these African drums? I'm sorry. Can we have that moment again, please? Can we have it, please?
What you make? Malik. What up, Malik? What? He got shot? Are you sure it was Ron?
Boop, 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 boop. Out of nowhere, these drums going. Oh, God. So if you're interested in watching this, it's called Awaken. There's a I think the full trailer is on YouTube. Look. I like giving Umar updates. I just think that the grift, the lying, the backbiting, it's just fascinating to me. So you will get regular Dr. Umar updates. All right. My head hurts. Yes, it's called Awaken. I don't know if it's on Tubi, but if it's not on Tubi, I would be very, very shocked. This screams Tubi. So Jermaine. His character's name is Jermaine. Wait. Hold on. I just gotta play my favorite part. Wait, well, my second favorite part. The first favorite part is when that jungle music comes up in the background out of nowhere. And then hold on.
I'm telling you that my life is saving our people. We've been through this. I got to go. A young man is dead.
If you leave, Jermaine,
It's bad. She's usually in the scene, like if you're not working with the greatest actor in a scene, you can kind of like one of y'all can try to save the scene, but when y'all both can't act,
If I leave what? If I leave what?
if I leave what? What was the point of grabbing her on that line? What was the point of grabbing her on that line? If it this is why directors are important too, because directors could because they could tone you down and they could get the performance they need out of the actor. But when you're doing all of this for no reason, it's so bad. It's so bad. Again, it's called Awaken. If I leave what? All right, let's move along. All right. Oh gosh, I think I mixed my stories up. Oh, I did. Okay. So this is Virginia gubernatorial candidate Winsome Sears. I remember she won bigly in I forgot what year that was, but she's now the lieutenant governor, and she was the first black female, all the identity stuff. But the reason why she didn't get all like the major press is because what? She's a Republican. So when you're a Republican, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Winsome. Hold on. I'm sorry, Miss Sears. Hold on. You deserve better. Hold on. Let me get it out first.
What you made? My fight is against racism no matter where it happens.
I said no!
And I'm telling you that my life is saving our people. We've been through this. I got to go. A young man is dead.
If you leave, Jermaine,
If I leave what? If I leave what? I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready. If I leave what? All right. Literally. It's Friday, damn it. Let me have my fun. Oh man. We thank you, Umar. You have made amazing contributions to the culture, and we love you for it. All right. All right. See, y'all notice the drums now. Y'all notice the drums in the background. And literally, what was the point of the drums, bro? Like, I mean, some strings would have been nice, or whatever. All right. So back to Miss Winsome Sears. The Democrat Party is going back to factory default, but in fact, I've always said that they've never really gone back to factory default. They just figured out another way to remix their racism. So she's hosting a rally because she's running for governor of Virginia. And the liberals don't like her stance on the trans people. They don't like her stance on the LGBT and all of that other stuff. So this white woman decided it was okay to show up at the rally and hold up this sign. Hey, hey, Winsome. If trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my water fountain. Excuse me, lady? Excuse me? Excuse me, lady. Now she's getting backlash, and now she's in panic mode, and now she's upset, and now, she's running for cover because, first of all, the we all have a lot of nice ideas. We all do. All of us. Every last person under the sound of my voice has great ideas, right? Most of those ideas should just stay just what they are, a nice idea, right? I have great ideas all day long. Things I start and I'm like, what the hell is okay? This is not looking like I need it to look. It's not sounding like the way I need to sound. It's just not working. All right, let me go get professionals who know how to really do stuff, right? And so here we go again. I'm telling y'all. So you want to know who the real racists are in 2025? It's not the hood-wearing Klansman or some backwoods bigot. It's the smug, self-righteous white liberals who pretend they're allies while weaponizing black pain for their own agenda. Yeah, these people. Because she thought she was eating. She's like, yeah, we gonna do it. And the perfect example is this rally. Here's the thing. You can disagree with her on the trans issue. You can disagree with her on any position she takes, right? But when it crosses that line, that's where you lose. I think even people on your own side, of the smart ones. It's not clever. It's not progressive. It's just racist. You're taking the brutality of Jim Crow, the humiliation of segregated water fountains, the scars of Black history, and you're trivializing it down to a bathroom policy debate. That's spitting in the face of every ancestor who fought, marched, and bled just so we could drink from the same damn water fountain, vote at the same booth, and walk through the same front door as everybody else. And notice who's targeting Miss Winsome Sears, right? A black woman, a Jamaican immigrant, a Marine veteran. You ever seen this woman hold a gun? I don't want to mess with her. She is the sitting lieutenant governor of Virginia and now a gubernatorial hopeful. She's a living embodiment of the American dream and American grit and Black excellence and all of those things y'all love to toss around like candy. And yet, some liberal with a marker and a poster board thinks they've got the right to reduce her to a prop because of their position on bathroom policies. That's not allyship. That's arrogance wrapped in condescension, and we ain't gonna take it, said white lady. And I hope you lose everything, your job, your career, your social standing, whatever it is, lose it all because you're stupid. See, I've been telling y'all this for years. This ain't new. White liberals have been doing this for decades. Go back to the 60s. Yes, many of them marched with Black folks, but too many of them also tried to control the movement, positioning themselves as saviors while real Black leaders carried the weight. And here we are in 2025, and it's the same damn playbook. They're hijacking our struggles, still cherry picking the trauma, and still talking down to us like we're not smart enough to know our own damn history. It's nothing funnier when you're hosting a live stream and a white person that ain't been nowhere near the hood comes in and try to explain the hood to you. Or comes in and try to explain Black history to you, or comes in and try to explain segregation, Jim Crow, slavery, Black codes. But constitutionally cannot tell you how any of that was undone or how it could ever be done again. You can't explain it to me because you don't know how. Because you want me to fall for the emotional argument and not the logical one. Right. Slavery is dead. And I'll I'll put the period on something because I was about to say something really crazy. But here's the truth: you don't honor civil rights by comparing it to some cause that you prefer. You don't fight racism by telling a black woman her fight, her story, her very identity doesn't matter unless it props up yours. That sign didn't expose Winsome Sears. It exposed the racism of the person holding it, a person who has probably accused Donald Trump and other Republicans of being racist. Because, it's always racism when Donald Trump does it, but when they do it, it's activism because the majority of black folks are on their side, right? Okay, cool. But I vote with the Klan. You vote with the Klan. You vote with the racists. So let's call it plain. These white liberals ain't fighting racism. They are the racism. They're just sticklers. Sorry. They're just slicker with it. They come up with hashtags, rainbow flags, and big words about, quote, justice. But at the end of the day, they're still the ones trying to control the narrative, silence independent black voices, and put us back in a box they approve. Winsome Sears doesn't deserve their lectures, their props, their signs. She needs the same thing every other person wants: respect for her service, her intelligence, her accomplishments, and her right to think for her damn self. And if you can't give that without dragging out water fountains and bathroom stalls, then you ain't progressive. You're just another race. You're just another face of the same old racism. I'll send it to you, Lee. I'll send you the picture. And this is what I say all the time. These people have gone off the rails, and they think because your skin is brown and you don't agree with me and you don't think all of this bullshit exists, that somehow I can disrespect you on every level. I can be racist, but you're literally throwing the history in the very face of the people you claim you support. Dummy. This is like when people come in, I'm trying to think of one of the stupid things they say about gay people. And I'm like, well, how are you an ally to these people if you're literally using who they are as the butt of a joke or as a way to insult someone? You sound dumb. I'm not going to use the R word. I'm going to try to keep it cool on YouTube. I'm going to try my best. I ain't going to be perfect. I'm probably sure I cursed a couple times and wasn't even aware of it. But anyway, white liberals like this idiot, do better. Do better. There's a way to disagree without acting like and making a complete ass of yourself and literally putting everything you may or may not have earned on the line. Stupid. Anyway, moving on. So Jasmine Crockett is going to be out of a job. She lost with the redistricting. The redistricting of Texas is final. And homegirl is going to be out of a job. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And, of course, again, in live stream yesterday, how do you feel knowing that black people are now 3/5 of a vote? Excuse me? When did black people become 3/5 of a vote? In Texas, black people are 3/5 of a vote. Okay, so let's talk about this. Number one, Jasmine Crockett isn't even from Texas. She's from St. Louis. She isn't from the Dallas area. She went to school in Houston. She went to law school in Houston. She's lived a privileged life. She's not been broke. It cost almost $1 million to educate her from childhood all the way through law school. And never once did she do work study, had scholarships, or had any other special funding. This was all paid for. Yeah. No special stuff. Right. Yeah. So this all of a sudden, this ghetto girl, this I'm relatable, this I'm down with the people act that she's pulling on, like it is so stupid, but she's a good actress. Maybe she should give Umar some tips how to be very convincing, how to play a character all the way past the finish line. Maybe she can give Umar some tips on that. Anyway, um, and to be honest, she slid right into the congressional seat. There was really no contention. There was no competition. There was no Republican opponent. There was no opponent from any other party. So literally what the Democrat Party did is they saw a vulnerability and they maximized it. Fine. Nobody's hating on you for that. Do what you got to do. So then you put up a loud black woman who can be entertaining in Congress and do all of the theatrics and get all of the attention, but it was never really about serving the people of Texas 30. It was never about that. What it was about was getting her national attention so that she could one day run for president or a higher office. That was it. This had nothing to do with serving the people of that district. And so please stop acting like she did this great noble thing while she was in office, because that's not what for the people means. You know, the people didn't elect her. The people had no choice. When you're the only choice on the ballot, is that really is that really the Democratic way, as y'all love to say? Anyway, and this isn't just a Democrat problem. You know, y'all crying about 3/5 of a human. And in fact, both parties gerrymander. But if you've been running your mouth about Texas and Florida and possibly Indiana and all these other states, were y'all bitching in 2022 when Illinois did it? When New York, California, Massachusetts, Oregon, New Mexico, Nevada, and New Jersey, they all gerrymandered for the 2022 midterms. They all did it. New York would have been worse, actually, because the only reason why New York didn't do worse was because literally the people of New York voted to add an amendment to the Constitution that literally limited gerrymandering to favor a political party. Otherwise, New York was willing to break its own constitution to try to get it done, but got stopped by the highest court. Oh, go figure. So were y'all screaming and crying when they were trying to make Republicans in these states 3/5 of a vote? No, you weren't. You didn't care, because all you cared about was a D being next to somebody's name and then winning. That's all you cared about. You didn't give a damn what they could contribute or how if they were really for the people or about it. You didn't care. All you cared about, they're a Democrat. This is the ugly game of politics, people. Carving the map, locking the seat, and calling it democracy. Hey, so get over it. Texas, it's a new day, and it's actually a better day. Yeah. So I'm not 3/5 of a vote in Texas because I'm not voting for Jasmine Crockett. I would never vote for, if she was one of the options. If I was in her congressional district, she would never get my vote. Not even by default. Blank, leave it blank. You ain't getting my vote. We're good. But here's Unplugged giving his take and responding to a comment on Jasmine Crockett.
Grand Rising, sir, because I respect my elders, but you went on this rant about them doing the gerrymandering, which both parties do, and you talked about her being reelected and how smart she is and everything like that. Can you please give me one thing that she's done for TX30? Just one. People are talking about her in reference to how they feel about her, but what has she done legislatively? What has she done in the community? Please tell me. Anybody who knows anything about Jasmine Crockett knows she's from St. Louis and she went to law school in Houston. So I'm gonna ask again, what ties does she has to TX30? What ties does she have to Dallas? You gotta start asking yourself that question too. Facts. You also may wanna go look at her Breakfast Club interview where she pretty much said she wants to go ahead and get her money from a lawsuit, then she'd come back and get reelected. So that means she doesn't care about the people. She also said in a recent interview that she's thinking about going to the other district and this, that, whatever. So if she's going to go to the other district, that means she's going to desert TX30. On top of that, if you're from Texas or live in Texas, that means that one thing famous about Texas is the Alamo, where they took their stand. If you're supposed to take a stand, why would you retreat to Chicago and not take a stance for your constituents? That's all of them, including Jasmine Crockett. So I'm going to ask you respectfully, sir, what has she done for the constituents of TX30 since she's been in office? Please come back with a fact and not feelings.
Not a damn thing. Yeah, I could answer that question. She has performed well. She has had great screaming matches on the congressional floor. She has argued. She has bickered. She has thrown out all these wild, salacious claims about the president, the Republican Party, and white people and black people and all this other stuff. But she's done nothing for the people of TX30. We know this. That's why they picked that seat, because they knew they could slide her in there. She was going to be uncontested. No Republican was going to Republican Party was not going to put any money behind a race in that district. It was just never going to happen. So they already knew all of that. So this was easy. Now that she has to go earn it, let's see what actually happens when you have to go actually do the work to get the seat. Yeah, she's probably going to go back to being a lawyer. And even the Democrats don't want her. They don't want this Shaniqua representing them. They don't want this trash, ghetto, loud, wrong, annoying, frustrated, over made up, big ass eyelash person representing them on a national stage. No. Could you imagine this standing next to Michelle Obama? God, for, say what you want about Michelle Obama. She's a great orator. When she talks, you listen, right? She's not like one of these people, and even if she's saying something stupid and wrong, right? She's saying it in a dignified way, right? I think that's bullshit. That will never be Michelle Obama. That will never be Michelle Obama. That will never be. So it is what it is. Anyway, where are we? We will be right back. Alrighty then, on to the main course. Yeah, it's unfortunate, I'm cautiously giving this story because he has a known history of trolling. That's one. So I'm gonna preface with that. He has a known history of trolling. So I'm gonna take this story seriously. But so I got to give myself a little wiggle room in case this turns out to be like a publicity stunt or something. So he's known for trolling, but it doesn't look like he's trolling this time. And let's go over the story. So rapper Lil Nas X was arrested and taken to hospital after wandering LA street in underwear. U.S. rapper Lil Nas X was arrested and taken to the hospital after being found walking on a Los Angeles street and allegedly charging at officers and punching one. That's not good. The LA Force said that as officers went to the 11,000 block of Ventura Boulevard in Studio City, the man rushed toward them. Oh man, I miss Ventura Boulevard. I miss Studio City. Oh, those were the days. Anyway, quote, he transported to a local hospital for a possible overdose and placed under arrest for battery on a police officer, police said. A law enforcement source confirmed to NBC News that the suspect was Montero Lamar Hill, also known as Lil Nas X. The Old Town Road rapper punched an officer twice in the face during the encounter, according to another source. And officers were unsure whether he was on any substances or in mental distress. Listen, let's actually watch a clip of the video of him wandering in his drawers and cowboy boots on Ventura Boulevard at like 4:00 in the morning.
Don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. No, go ahead, babe. No. Go ahead, babe. No. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down? Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. Da. Hey, for everybody coming to the party. La. Yes, I am serving you. I am serving you. And you better be at that party tonight. Oh, yes. Yes. Pow. Yes. Yes. Get my good side. Every side. Yes. Boom, cat, tow. Pow. Sean Bankhead taught me that one. Bow! Bang! Bow! Woo! Bow! Batty boy, want to give it to me, baby? Batty boy, want to give it to me, baby? That's gonna be a beautiful sunrise. Give me that phone so I can throw it. I want to throw it far away so you never see it again. I don't like phones.
Listen, I don't know. Here's the industry, but let's go back to February of this year, where he clearly admitted to struggling in some way. And there it is. Roll it.
Hey guys, don't look at my furniture-less house, but I want to say, because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm being flaky and very all over the place, but I was for a long time, you know. These last few years were pretty difficult for me. They have been pretty difficult for me, and I'm just now like arriving to this place of feeling confidence in myself and what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make sure I put intention towards my music and my vision and the creativity of it all. And most of all, I really want to make sure I have fun this time around. I don't think I got to have as much fun during the Montero era because I was more overly focused on, I don't know, making sure the songs did well than making sure I was like having fun doing, you know, shit, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying I didn't have any fun. I had some fucking fun, okay? But I want this time around to be even more fun, and I want to be like even more full of joy, and I want to be even more full of love, and I want to go out here in this fucking world, and I want to wave my fucking hands in the sky and move about freely. And that's what the fucking Dream Boy era is gonna be. Hotbox is coming next. Fairly soon. I'm not gonna give you guys a date. I'm gonna announce it when I announce the date, okay? But I need you guys to stick beside me. We are fucking coming. Monterey, we are fucking coming. I have the fucking songs. I have the fucking music. I have the fucking vision. You guys need to sit patiently. You've waited this far. We've waited this long. Let's fucking keep going. Let's make this shit fucking happen. Okay? I love you guys so much. I'm finna do my fucking shit. I'm finna do my shit. Trust. Trust. Okay, bye.
All right, so let's talk about the rise and fall of Lil Nas X. Basically, his story shows how fast the industry can crown you king and how fast it can snatch that crown away and move on to the next fad. Back in 2019, for those who don't know, Old Town Road was the first major hit from Lil Nas X. It came out of nowhere. It was a young dude from Atlanta. He was broke. He was hustling. He was, I believe, sleeping on his sister's couch. And suddenly he got the biggest song in the world, 19 weeks straight at #1. It broke Mariah Carey's record for most weeks at #1. And he's in the history books for that. And that same year, he came out as gay at the top of his success. And for some reason, that was considered brave. For others, it was another headline. Either way, he had a spotlight. He had the world's attention, and all eyes were on him. But what did he do with it? Instead of building on the record-breaking momentum with music that could stand the test of time, he doubled down on shock value, mocking Christians, playing with faith, trying to turn outrage into streams. I don't know, y'all. I'm sure y'all remember that Montero Call Me By Your Name video, where he slid down a stripper pole into hell and then did a lap dance on the devil. I mean, that was edgy, and it was straight up blasphemy. And then came the Satan shoes with allegedly that had a drop of human blood in them. Remember those? Parents were furious, churches spoke out, and suddenly his name was less about the music and more about the controversy. Then came the J. Christ era. So that was the follow-up to the Montero era, and I don't remember the name of that actual album, but then came the J. Christ era. And so this is where he came back really imitating Jesus. If you look at the visuals in that video, it's him with a dressed as a black Jesus with, I think he had a choker on that said sex or something on it. Anyway, he mocked crucifixion. He treated sacred faith like a stage prop, essentially. And at that point, it wasn't just marketing. It was a full-on campaign to provoke people who believe in God. And here's the truth. When you play those games, when you use the devil as a co-star, when you make a mockery out of Christ, don't be surprised when your career starts crumbling. And that's exactly what happened. The industry loves to use you when you're hot. But once the music ain't sticking and the shock tactics run out, they toss you aside. That's what we're seeing here with Lil Nas X right now. The headlines ain't about his next big record. They're about his arrest, stalled projects. And I mean, the projects have been stalling. He's been dropping singles for a few years now. All of them have gone nothing. They have literally gone copper, aluminum, nothing. They have done nothing on the charts. They have done nothing to move his streams. They have done nothing to help his sales. And therefore, you're not making much money. And now you're with a big label. So that's another conversation on top of that. and now we're just at the, okay, what the hell's going on here? Because even in that last video that I played from February, did he look well? Did that man look well in that video? He didn't look well. This is a man whose career is in free fall. And this is the problem when you're handed all of this success at once and there's no responsible person around you saying, hey, one, this is not going to last forever. And two, what's the plan? Because you don't have like this wealth of talent where you can just bounce around genres like Lady Gaga or something. So you really got to figure out what this is and how to really push this to the next level. Because I think the biggest misstep was that J. Christ project. And when that J. Christ project hit and people were like, nah, we good. This is stupid, right? And then I think he was at an award show with what's the other Billy Porter. He was at the award show with Billy Porter holding the Bible, remember? And they were both, I think they were dressed in white. He may have had on a wedding dress. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. But it was ridiculous. And he's holding a Bible because also him and Billy Porter are from the church. And so now this is their rebellion against the church, I guess, you know. Look, here's the thing. The church is not supposed to conform to who you are. You are to conform to the church. So if you can't do that and you choose to go embark on that lifestyle, that is your life choice, right? You have free will. You have free will, just to be clear. And here's the part that really hits me. I will actually pray for Lil Nas X because I know what it means to come from nothing. You know, I know what it means to have people offering things to you to sell your soul, to be lifted out of poverty. And it's no small feat, and it's a hell of an offer when your stomach's been grumbling for 2 weeks. Yeah, so trust me, I get it. The pressure to stay relevant, to keep money flowing, to hold on to fame, it'll make you do wild things. But at the end of the day, no amount of money, no amount of fame, no amount of controversy is worth losing your soul. That's why I'm sitting here struggle streaming on YouTube. I could have been walking down Ventura Boulevard in my drawers. I'm not laughing at it, but I'm just thinking of myself. Not anyway. So yeah, Lil Nas X made history, but he also made choices that dragged him down, and the rise and fall of Lil Nas X should be a warning. When you mock God for clout, the downfall is always right around the corner. Yes, we have free will, as I said, but that doesn't mean you are free of consequences. You can choose to mock God. You can choose to sell your soul. You can choose to chase clout over purpose. That's your right to do so. But freedom of choice doesn't mean freedom from the outcome. And at some point, the bills are due. And I pray Lil Nas X realizes that before it's too late, because talent got him in the door. But only God's grace can keep him standing when the world walks out. No cap. So, yeah, this is another unfortunate tale in the music industry. Hopefully, it doesn't have to get worse before it gets better. Hopefully he's not out, it doesn't get to the point of no return, God forbid. But this should be your wake-up call, bro. You might want to go to church next week. Yeah. Or detox or rehab or something, and then go to church. There's no way around it, I mean, God will forgive. God will definitely forgive. But the jig is up. The jig is up. Now it depends on what sorry y'all, hold on. I'm from New York. What's good? What's good, everybody? I got my first person on Kick. I'm on Kick, y'all, if y'all didn't know. I'm also on Twitch as well. But it's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late to make a change. It's never too late to say, hey, this ain't working. Because I knew this was coming. I already knew it. I watched like 2 other YouTubers do pieces on him about how the shock value wore off and there's really nothing else to do at this point. So what do? You just keep dropping projects hoping that something will stick. And that's generally where you mess up even more, because the more projects you release and the worse each one does, that affects your mental health, not just your finances. But you got into this to win, obviously. But I don't know. I would love to ask you some questions. Like, did you really think that the shock value and that shtick was really going to work long term? Yeah, it can't work. The only way it really works long term is if you have a lot of talent. You have to have a lot of talent for it to work. Prince, that's why Prince was able to work long term, because Prince had an abundance of talent, right? If Prince was just some little guy who wore heels and your mama's blouses and just gyrated on stage, he would have had a very short career. Same thing with Michael Jackson. Same thing with Lenny Kravitz. These wildly talented people, right? Even in the modern era, Lady Gaga, she's a prime example. She started out with all the shock and all the stuff and the meat dress and all that stuff. And then she had to dial it back and remix her career because people got over what is she going to do now? What's she going to do now? And it was like, okay, we're bored. And it's like, do something else, and so that's what she did, because she had the talent to go do other things. She had the talent to go do a Standards album with Tony Bennett, and she had a talent to go act. She had the talent to do those things. So unfortunately, I don't know if Nas has all of that stuff beyond. So good luck. I mean, again, prayers for Lil Nas X. The industry is tough. It's a very dog eat dog industry, and I bet you the same people that was calling him their friend is nowhere to be found right now. I promise you, these people are nowhere to be found. They're not picking up phones. They not answering DMs. They not responding to text messages. They probably changed their phone number at this point. So yeah, a lot to be said for that. So anyway, let's close out with some funny stuff. Would y'all like to see some white on white crime? Would y'all like to see some white on white crime?
Can somebody please show me a picture of somebody from MAGA that doesn't look like they came from the Hills Have Eyes?
I can smell the cat piss, the Winston 100s, and the expired Slim Jims wafting off your video. You look like the type of girl who applied to a strip club, but they only let you dance during the day shift on a Tuesday. I bet all of your kids have you blocked and you blame it on astrology. Ladies and gentlemen, the final boss of the trailer park fight. If you were to tell me that you make dream catchers using old beer tabs and you sell them at the flea market from a table called the Gypsy Den, I wouldn't blink. We all knew that kid from the late 80s, early 90s who had the Power Ranger blanket or the Lion King blanket that always smelled like piss. You are the human embodiment of that blanket. If the people from Hills Have Eyes and the people from Wrong Turn got each other pregnant and then they drank during the entire pregnancy, we'd get you. You look like you drive a 1998 Ford Explorer with empty Suboxone wrappers on the floor, and it smells like Dollar General cucumber melon. You got a body built like a beanbag chair and a face made for radio.
Oh, violencia. Damn. Why don't these people get on the internet and say crazy things when they know they look crazy in and of themselves? Is it for attention? It must be for attention, because there's no way you're saying this in good faith because you actually believe it. Bro, you're 500 pounds. You can't even show anything below your chin. You won't even show us. These people are ridiculous. All right, so and finally, the WNBA, because there's it's an injustice that they're not getting LeBron money right now, and so here's Angel Reese with her "We Deserve NBA Money," and so Draymond Green, being Draymond Green, says, "Do a 360 windmill dunk first." They don't even dunk in the WNBA. Remember that time Brittany Griner dunked in a game, and then they showed us the highlight, and it was like, that was not a dunk. Why are you playing with us? The rim is shorter, the ball is smaller, the performance just isn't as great, And I know y'all trying to make fetch happen so this industry could finally make a profit, and I get all of that, but quit lying to yourselves. You were offered a great salary increase considering what the league makes, and y'all said no. So I don't know what else y'all want. I mean, you want to just bankrupt the industry before y'all even really get off the ground 30 years later? 30 freaking years later. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for watching. Hope everybody has a lovely, lovely, lovely weekend. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to ajsrantroom.com. We got this hat, Make the Hood Great Again. And we got hoodies, we got jackets, we got sneakers, we got sweatpants. It's almost gray sweatpants season, so go hook yourself up if you need some gray sweatpants. I don't care what your gender identity is, just spend your money. And lots more. We got shirts, we got sweatshirts, all that other stuff. Anyway, I appreciate y'all so much. I hope y'all have a great weekend. And we got a couple videos dropping this weekend, so be on the lookout for those. And with that said, peace out.